Hello and happy middle of the week. My name is Michael Leeserman here with the Trial Guide's Tip of the Day. The date is Wednesday, May 14th, 2025. And our tip today comes from Jerry Spence from the video Be Who You Are. It's hard to fight for human beings against non-human corporations. Every case in the courtroom anymore, almost every case without exception, is a case not brought against human beings, not in which human beings are involved, but in which an injured human being attempts to recover justice against a non-living thing. Now, quite a few things there. The first one, the title of the video, Be Who You Are, I remember reading Jerry Spence book and saying, just be yourself. Boy, I think back in the 80s and thinking, well, that's great. Who am I? Back then I was still young and had some sense of self, but certainly not one that I had yet felt comfortable bringing naked with vulnerability to a jury. So that's really been my life journey as a person and a lawyer. And I know for many others too, who are we? Be who you are. Who is that? That's a lifetime endeavor, right? So that alone is some wisdom for today, to just be who you are. And, it's worth working on that. And then when you're in trial, when you're in the moments of deposition or the moments that matter, not the prep time when you're sitting at your desk, then don't worry about who am I. Just be who you are, even if you're not fully yourself yet. You are who you are. And then what about what Jerry says here, right? That we're up against non-humans, corporations, and yet the defense, good defense lawyers will do what they can to humanize the corporation. Of course, the corporation can only speak through a human being, and many times they'll pick likable, not always, which is curious to me, but many times they'll pick likable corporate representatives to speak on behalf of the company. And I want to think about this. This is worth thinking about. Maybe a conversation with that corporate representative. I think we all say something like, and you're here speaking on behalf of the corporation today. Maybe it's even worth a discussion and closing argument about this. When I say discussion, I always like talking with the jury, not to them, although they can't talk back. That's kind of my point of view, having a discussion with the jury. Not so much a closing argument as a closing discussion. And so as part of that is we're suing ABC Trucking or whoever the defendant is. And what does that mean? We heard Mrs. Robinson on the stand and she was very likable. Is she the company? Well, she legally binds the company, but the company is more than that. What is the company? And in the right case, it's worth talking about that and having that discussion. Here, my client, I usually don't say my client trial, but here, Jane Smith has significant brain damage, and we're suing ABC Trucking. They can't bleed, they can't feel. There's people that make up the company, but that's not the company. We've sued the company. So we're thinking about, I haven't presented that in a case, and I'm curious if you have. If you have, put some notes in the comments or write me, and I'm going to think about how that might be helpful to us in our trials. Let's take a deep breath together and just be grateful to be alive this Wednesday. May the work we do today help to reduce suffering in the world. May it help repair the world. May our work show that law can be a unifying and guiding force for good in this world. May we fiercely and compassionately champion our clients' causes. I'm going to ring a bell 3 times now. Let this sound take you to a sacred place, whether that be a place of meditation, of prayer, or just let the sounds wash over you and remind you, it's Wednesday, wake up, go out, do good things, and have fun while you're doing it.